In today's episode of Akram's Ideas, I'm going to show you how to make a lemon meringue pie from scratch, so stay tuned. Hello and welcome. I'm Akram Burris, and you're watching Akram's Ideas, bringing creative and crazy ideas to life. In this episode of Akram's Ideas, we'll be making the classic lemon meringue pie. The pie itself is custard based. Now, custard based pies have been around since medieval times. Now, meringue hadn't been created until the 17th century, however. The first lemon custard pie recipe is cited as being originated by the Quakers during the 1700s. Now, the lemon meringue pie recipe is credited to Elizabeth Conan Goodfellow, who was a pastry chef and businesswoman and ended up in Philadelphia during 1806. Supposedly when this pie originated. So there's a couple of steps to this pie. You're going to need a pre-baked pie crust. You can make that from scratch, or you can use a store-bought pie crust. Then there's the lemon custard and the meringue top. So now that you know a little bit of history about the lemon meringue pie, I'm going to show you how to put it all together. There I've smoothed the pie crust into our pie pan. Since I will be making a lemon meringue pie, I'm going to be putting the pie crust in the oven for about 15 minutes at 350 degrees. For our lemon meringue pie, there's a few ingredients that you're going to need. You're going to need a cup of sugar and a quarter teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of flour, 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. You're going to need the juice and zest of 2 lemons. I picked fairly large size lemons for this. Obviously, the more lemon juice and zest that you put in, the more lemony the pie will taste. You're gonna need 2 tablespoons of butter, 4 egg yolks, and you're going to want to save the egg whites for the meringue top of the pie. So you're going to separate those out. So we're going to use the egg yolks for the lemon custard part, and we're going to use the egg whites for the meringue. And then you're also going to need 1.5 cups of water. So basically you're going to take your dry ingredients and you're going to put it in a saucepan here and stir them all together. You are basically making a egg custard mixture with this. So I'm going to take all my dry ingredients, I'm going to stir this up, and then I'm going to pour in the water here. And one thing I should have mentioned before is that the sugar that I'm using, I'm actually using Splenda so that I get a sugar-free lemon meringue pie. So you're going to stir in your water, and then you're going to stir in your lemon and lemon zest. Now I'm going to take this to the stove top, where you're going to want to take your saucepan and place it here on the stove, sort of at medium-high heat, and you're going to continuously kind of stir, and you'll notice it starts to thicken up a little bit, and you're waiting for it to boil. Once it starts to boil, you're going to add in your butter, and it looks like I'm at a boiling point, so I'm going to go ahead and add my butter and let that fully melt and boil into the custard. My butter's now melted, and the next thing we're going to do, we need to add the egg yolks. But since the custard is already at a boiling point, if we add it directly to the egg yolks or add the egg yolks directly into it, the egg yolks would scramble, and we don't want scrambled eggs in our pie. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a small spoon of our custard and we're going to pour it gradually into our eggs over here so that we can get the eggs warmed up to the same temperature as the custard without boiling them. So I'm going to add a little bit more custard in here just to get our eggs warmed. I'll just add a little bit more and then we'll add it all into our saucepan. And again, gradually doing this will prevent your eggs from scrambling. And we're just going to go ahead and stir it in here. And we want to go ahead and bring it back to a boil, making sure that it has thickened up for the pie. Once it comes back to a boil and it's thick, we're going to put it in our pie crust. Once your pie crust has been pre-baked, you're going to take that lemon custard and we're going to pour it inside of our pie crust here. While we leave the pie custard, the lemon custard, to thicken up inside of the pie shell, we're going to make our meringue topping. And the meringue topping is pretty easy. You're going to basically just take those 4 egg whites that you separated from the egg yolks earlier with 6 tablespoons of sugar. And we're just going to whisk this on high until soft peaks form. And as you can see, we've got nice stiff peaks on our meringue here. So I'm going to go ahead and get it off the mixer. And basically you're going to take your meringue and you're going to put it on the top of your pie here. And you're going to want to use a spatula to kind of smooth this out. Be gentle with it. You don't want to crush its fluffiness. And you don't want to dig it into the custard so it goes into the custard. You want it to set on top. So I'm just kind of lightly trying to scoop it to the sides here. Once you've got your meringue on top of your pie, you're going to put this back into the oven for about 10 minutes at 350. Really what you're looking for is the top of the meringue to be golden brown. You don't want to put it in too long or else the meringue will start to get rubbery. Now that our lemon meringue pie is done, all that's left to do is to have a slice. So I've got my trusty pie slicer here. And here you can see the pie sections. You've got the custard and the meringue separated. And this pie is actually still a little too warm. You probably want to chill your pie a little bit longer so that the custard has time to stiffen up some more. But I'm going to go ahead and bite into it anyways. This is so good. It's so lemony and just full of flavor. And the meringue is light and fluffy. It's not overcooked. that 10 minutes did it perfectly. And again, you probably want to let yours chill a little longer than I did, just so that your custard sets a little bit better. But it truly is a great dish. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Akram's Ideas. And as always, don't forget to follow us on social media or subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.